Oh, it's a beautiful day. We have good news to talk about with baseball. The New York Mets bring back and pay one of their guys. Edwin Diaz gets 5 years, $102 million, about $20 million per year, a little over that. But the Mets go out and make a great move. Something that the Mets needed to do is bring back Edwin Diaz. People saying it's an overpay and everything. We're going to talk about all of it. But before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. And turn on your notifications too so you know when I upload a video. But let's talk about this signing. I'm to the moon about it. And people are complaining about an overpay. One, what do you care? It's not your money. Steve Cohen is going to spend regardless. This isn't going to stop him from going out and paying other guys, whether it's bringing back DeGrom or signing a Carlos Rodon or signing whoever. This isn't going to stop Steve Cohen, and this had to be done. This was a priority. And second, you need a back end of the bullpen piece. You need a solid closer. And Edwin Diaz, what was he? A solid closer for you last year. And what is he? A solid closer. You needed to get this move done. You needed to lock him up and bring him back. And listen, I know that relievers could be scary, could be sketchy at times, but I think that this is going to be worth it because Edwin Diaz had one of, if not the best reliever seasons in the history of the sport. And if you don't want to argue the best, you have to at least agree that's one of the best. I mean, if you look at the numbers this past year, 1.31 ERA, expected ERA at 1.69, 0.90 FIP. Absolutely ridiculous. Striking out batters, 17 strikeouts per 9, over 2 walks per 9, and less than 1 home run per 9. He was dominant. He was lights out. And even if you want to argue, oh, well, okay, you don't pay a guy that much, even though he had a career year, whatever. Because he hasn't been that great in the past. Years prior, 3.45 ERA, not bad. But if you look at the expected ERA, 2.62, 2.48 FIP, just goes to show you that there were times where the defense maybe didn't help him out there, or certain circumstances led to it. 2020, in that weird season, he had an outstanding year, was lights out, 1.75 ERA there. 2019, we know that was just a complete meltdown there. 2018, though, best reliever in the game. 2017, one of the better relievers. I mean, how could you not love this signing if you're a Met fan? How could you not? And realistically, I want to ask the Met fans that hate it, what did you want? Who did you want instead? Did you want the Mets to go out and spend on Kenley Jansen? A guy who's out of his prime. Guy who's... Brave fans were sweating watching that guy come in the ball games. Sweating. You wanted him? Craig Kimbrell? Same example, way past his prime. Hasn't had a quality year in a while. I don't even think he made the Dodgers playoff roster, believe it or not. So, who did you want? Aroldis Chapman, same sort of deal. Who'd you want? Who'd you want? Edwin Diaz was the clear and obvious choice to bring back. He was the best reliever on the market, and you paid him like it. You paid him like it. It's a historic deal. It's a risky deal, sure, but I'm completely fine with them taking the risk because you're taking the risk on a guy who is still young in his career. He's only 29 years old right now. So you're banking on a guy who's young. You're banking on a guy that has been dominant in the past. And at least if something goes wrong, you did the right thing. It's not like it's a scenario where if you look back on this contract in a few years, it's like, oh, wow, I can't believe the Mets gave Edwin Diaz this contract. No, it's not going to be that. Instead, if the contract doesn't work out, you're going to look at Edwin Diaz and be like, you suck. You didn't do your job. You suck. And you're the reason you're overpaid. Nobody to blame but yourself. This isn't a scenario where Steve Cohen, Billy Epler and company are overpaying right now. It's justifiable, the dollars. So if it backfires, it's not because of management or anything. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's the right thing to do. And still a lot of holes to fill with this bullpen here, huh? You got Trevor May walking, Adam Ottavino's out the door, Michael Givens out the door, Trevor Williams. You got a lot of Seth Lugo too. You got a lot of spots in this bullpen. And the fact that you got one of and your main priority back there locked up, huge. Huge. And I'm all for it. I am all for it. And hopefully we get to see him pitch deeper in the playoffs next year. But this was great. I was loving the signing from the second I saw it. There wasn't a second of me questioning the signing. There wasn't any of that. So, he's your closer. He is your closer for the next 5 years. Unless, God forbid, he starts to struggle badly and you have to make an emergency move to bring in another closer, which hopefully that doesn't end up being the scenario, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Edwin Diaz is really good, and he's that good. So, we will obviously wait and see how that goes, but I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. But we got a lot here to talk about when it comes to the Mets. A lot. I was going to do very soon, I'm going to do a 5 at each position that they should look at, like 5 infielders, 5 catchers, 5 pitchers, whatever it may be. I'm going to be doing something like that, so stay tuned for all of that as well, which is also another reason you should subscribe. But yeah, one of the things is the bullpen. That's a main question for me. So, you got your guy. You got your guy. But what else is there? I mean, we could also talk about the World Series for a brief moment. Thank you, Houston, for beating the Philadelphia Phillies. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that made my day. This made my day. Forget about the New York Rangers. What do I care about hockey? Oh, my past 24 hours or so have just been made by the baseball gods. Well, like I said, there's a lot of work to do here. There is a lot of work, and lineup has a lot, pitching has a lot. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't really have much else to add to it other than this is just the beginning of the offseason. I can't wait to see what they have in store. If you're willing to pay Edwin Diaz this much, oh boy, in 4 or 5 days when free agency opens up, open the bank. Open the bank. He's coming. I'd love a Trey Turner. Oh, I'm going to talk about Trey Turner a lot in the next coming weeks here on the channel. Would love a Carlos Rodon. There's so much. And Carlos Rodon, too, opting out of his contract. Got my eyeballs looking like, hey, Carlos. He'd look good in Queens, wouldn't he? Well, I don't know. We'll deep dive all that later on in the week. Let me know your thoughts on the signing in the comment section down below. Would love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications too so you know when I upload next, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Mets.